Some may say I could be a bit of an angry man. I say I'm an angry shittler that hasn't had a shitter. Well, welcome to my chamber.
That's right, everybody. We have reached the arc of Airsoftfatty finally getting a toilet for his tiny home. Unfortunately, my plan of him installing a toilet inside the house was completely thwarted. Instead, we have moved to doing an outhouse directly adjacent to his building, which I think is very odd. I guess they're tying into the septic tank somewhere. It actually sort of makes a little bit of sense because it's right on the wall adjacent to where the shower is. So I guess they're just tying right into the septic tank right there and all the plumbing that's right there. Either way, you know, Fatty toyed with getting $1,000 toilet that had disposable gas canisters to flush your toilet, and I think he made the right decision. You know, we have an outhouse. He does a TikTok short of pretending like he's Shrek coming out of the door, but like usual, we're gonna nitpick some things here. We're gonna discuss it, and then we're also gonna see Fatty do his first cooking with Fatty video inside of the tiny house. So that will be very exciting. So without further ado, let's examine this porta potty.
It's nothing fancy for sure, but it's got enough space to pop in. Looks like someone's already taken a piss in this bitch. Plop the seat down. Probably gonna try to get an elongated seat to help.
I think there's a lot of things you probably should have figured out before setting up this porta potty. You know, they got the plastic seat that would typically come from a commercial use porta potty, and for whatever reason they decided not to like build out physical walls for this outhouse. I know there are walls there, I'm aware, but they basically just made 2x4s and put plywood on the exterior and called it a day. They didn't create a cavity so that they could insulate this thing, because in the summer and in the winter, this is going to be extremely uncomfortable to be inside. Extremely. It's not going to be great, and I think he makes a good assertion. I've never heard of an elongated toilet seat before. I assume it's so it hovers off the edge, so your asshole is still in the toilet range, but, you know, your body doesn't have to sit so far back. I really don't know, but Fatty seems like he's on the case. You know, the door looks kind of nice. You know, I don't know if that's a pre-made door or they made it themselves, but hey, you know, there's positives here. It's not completely negative. There's a lot of things that I think exteriorly they'll have to work on, but we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Ah, fuck, the vent for the shit literally points right at the fucking shed, dude. I wish I would have thought about that.
We can turn it.
I like the clear roof. I like that.
Yeah, you can see when you're taking a shit.
Honestly, I could see myself coming out here like middle of a nighttime rain shower and just sitting here and watch the rain, just like.
It literally, so as expected, you know, not to be a spoiler, but as expected, they're gonna hotbox this thing in a little bit, and I think that's what, you know, they're in New York, and in like country New York, it can get pretty humid during the summer, so that thing is gonna be like, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like something that he's gonna maintain and take care of super well. Is he gonna get it drained often? You know, it just seems like that toilet's gonna be a hotbed for mosquitoes and humidity. It's just gonna be a breeding ground. I don't know. It doesn't seem great. He already talked about that the vent, so basically the gas exhaust from the toilet exits directly towards the building, and it's not going to be too bad because there's just one dude living there. I guess there's other people that come around often now, but it's only one guy, so maybe the smell won't be too bad. But there's a lot of things I think exteriorly he'll have to figure out. First off, it seems like it's sitting a little bit on the slope, so I'm a little bit worried about when rain comes, if it's going to stay in place. and if it's going to shift at all, that's a little bit concerning, because the house, I think, is raised on blocking somehow. I'm not exactly sure how they installed it, but this isn't, I don't think. And then I also think that he needs to have a walkway that leads from the house to the outhouse, whether he gets really cheap pavers, or like, hell, you can even put like a sidewalk in there. You know, and I'm sure they don't want to get a concrete truck to come out there, but pavers is probably the cheapest way to go about it, or at the very least just do gravel, something like that, you know, lay it down, because when it rains, it's going to be super muddy. And that's the thing too, it's like, you're going to have to go outside to take a shit, and you're going to get covered in rain and sweaty and mud and dirt, and then take a shit, and then come back inside covered in all that with no ways. I mean, I don't know. Is he going to take a shower every time he goes outside? I mean, he could build like a canopy or something that it covers the walkway from the door to the house, but the house is raised. I don't know. There's a lot of issues to try and figure out. He's talked about building a ramp up to his house, you know, so there's a lot of things that I think still need to be fleshed out.
Man. But yeah, we gotta go through. There's a small crack on the outer layer of the roof, which is NBD, really. I mean, take a little epoxy putty to it, put it on there. Heat her up, should dry up just fine. But like, yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing special, but, hey, it's mine.
Couple things. What are all those stains on Fatty's shorts? I was trying to figure that out. There's one near his crotch, and I initially was like, oh, a little piss stain, no big deal. But it's also in other places, so I don't know if he's got grease. I don't know if these have never been cleaned. I mean, that's an issue, obviously, as well. Inside, there's no washer dryer. So what, is he going to go down to the creek and you know, pre-industrial revolution it out there and start scrubbing them in the creek? Obviously not. I mean, that's hyperbole. He clearly would never be doing that. And the other thing is, his legs are getting a little bit darker. I've noticed he's got some like bug bites or something, some scabs, something going on down there. It's not looking great. But then again, I think that's just a cause of probably diabetes in some sense. So maybe I shouldn't be too hard on it. My recommendation would be fur out those walls so you can put insulation in there. And then you can be a little bit more comfortable. Part of the problem is like the ceiling is that crappy plastic see-through crap, so you aren't going to really be able to insulate that at all. But I don't know, hopefully it's not hopefully it's not south facing and it's not going to get direct sunlight. Maybe the house will shade it a little bit. We'll see, we'll figure it out. But it wouldn't surprise me if in a couple months time this place is a complete mess. I mean, there's not even like a toilet paper holder, there's not like a soap dispenser. I mean, is he going to take a crap and then go walk inside and wash his hands? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So, there's some things we should figure out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's here. The king's throne. The wooden dome. I must lay down my meatloaf. And today, we're going to take our first shit. And what better time to do it than in the rain, because it's going to be nice. And there's a truck in the background. Jeez. I wonder if they're like bringing me something fun. Maybe. But we'll try to ignore that and check this out, shall we?
So basically, for whatever reason, he decides to separate these two videos. He does a air quote professional video showing off, but they don't even really show it off. You know, this is not a great video to showcase the porta potty outhouse, because we don't even get a walk around on the exterior. We're just stuck on the inside, just seeing the toilet. I want to see the surroundings. I want to be able to judge everything evenly. And then, you know, obviously he has to come back with a goof and a gag. Can you guys guess what they're going to do in here? Can you guess? Let's figure it out together, guys.
Probably right here. I know it's rain, but what the fuck is that sound? Oh, does it come with a vent? That's cool. That's like really cool. It comes with a vent. But yeah, I want to put something probably here. Maybe, I don't want to put it too high up. Probably put it about here. Yo, is that smoke? Yo, that's cool. It smokes. It shouldn't smoke, should it?
Oscar moment, guys. Oscar moment. I mean, this is so impressive acting from Fatty here. You guys couldn't even tell, probably, that he was acting, that he was hamming it up. I mean, I don't know why they chose to put the camera into the corner, just on the floor, because as soon as Fatty stood up, we were like half an inch away from seeing his dick for the first time and him for the first time in 15 years. So, we avoided a crisis, I guess, at that moment, but, you know, clearly, wow, a fan built into the shack. What's that noise? I know there's rain outside. I guess it must be a fan. Wow. You know, Leo DiCaprio, move out of the way. Joaquin Phoenix, get out of here. Margot Robbie, jump off a bridge. Fatty's taking control.
This is the best shitter ever, man.
You know, he's got his witch's cauldron full of smoke. You know, he's sitting there and you can clearly see the directionality of where the smoke is coming from into his face. And he's trying so hard not to cough. He wants to cough so bad and just completely ruin the audio and the clip itself. He's trying to avoid it so hard. And for that, hey, I can be appreciative. You know, for once he actually gets hit with smoke and he doesn't cough up a lung. You know, it's not all bad, I guess. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard. But it's also, come on, guys, are we laughing yet? guys, they blew weed smoke in his face, man. It's so funny, dude. Oh my god, I was waiting for it. I was like, hey, they've done it for the past like 3 videos. Do you think they're going to do it again? There's no way. It's still such an original idea, and it's still so funny. I look forward to it every time I watch a video. I'm like, man, you know, Casey Neistat, you know, camera tutorial. Where's my weed smoke, man? That would be so funny. You know, Fatty's got that down on lock. On lock. It's so funny every time. You know, Fatty probably saw the abomination he was about to make for this Cooking with Fatty video and just started to go insane. It's completely understandable. You're about to have your minds absolutely blown. I was just so shocked by this concoction he comes up with. And, you know, he got stuck inside the outhouse and started to lose his mind. And it's completely justifiable.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Airsoftfatty, and welcome to the first cooking video of the shack. That's right. And today we're making poor man Sloppy Joe. Should be a good time and fun. It's a simple dish. It doesn't take much more than about 10 to 15 minutes to prepare. So without further ado, I'm gonna get this going, shall we?
So the first question I have is, how can you possibly make Sloppy Joes even poorer? You know, that's the part I'm trying to figure out, because you essentially make a brown sauce, you get some ground meat, you grind it up, you know, you probably throw some onions in there. If you're feeling fancy, maybe some bell peppers. And then you put the sauce in it, you mix it together, and you put it on a bun, and you call it a day. There's your Sloppy Joe. It's not that hard. You know, if you want to get a little bit fancy, you know, you can mix it up. You can have some brown sugar in there, some mustard, mix it with some Worcestershire sauce. And, you know, then you can get a little bit better mix for your meat. But, you know, for the most part, it's supposed to be a quick and easy, down and dirty meal. So I don't know how we're going to take something that's so simple and really just drive the degeneracy out of it. But trust me, Fatty finds a way, and it is shocking.
We'll get you out here in a moment, but let's go ahead and throw this in. You just gotta take your burger meat just like this. Oh, big chunk there. You're just gonna. You wanna spread it out on the pan? Okay. While this is browning up and doing its thing, you wanna take a spoon and irritate the meat. Ah, fuck! I just burnt the hell out of my tummy. Put the pot right against it.
You would think, after so many cooking videos that he's done, that he would pick up some new tricks, some new habits, you know, maybe read some comments, talk about some things, you know, get some new wear. No. He's ignoring all of that. He's gonna crumble up the raw ground beef in his hands and mix it around inside of the pot. And then he's gonna take a metal spoon and stir it around at the bottom of his pot. You know, and in case, you know, there's a reason why chefs use wooden utensils a lot with metal. You don't want to chip the paint at the bottom. And especially, I don't know if this is a non-stick, but a lot of things that scratch on non-stick things obviously erode that epoxy type finish that they have, ruins the non-stick. So there's a lot of reasons to not use metal on metal. Use some wood, use some rubber. But Fatty, he's not going to figure that out. And instead, he's just going to... Think about it. He's standing there. He's crumpling the ground beef in his hand. You know, he could just, you know, take a spatula or a fork and just dump it in there and then break it up. But no, he's got to get it all over his hand and then probably wipe it on his pants because he's definitely not using paper towels or washing his hands afterwards. So, gross.
So here we are, we're at the tail end here. Burger meat's nice and browned up. Only reason we're not throwing salt, pepper, things like that in this, I don't have any seasonings right now, like at all.
This is preposterous. We're literally making sloppy joes. We're making anything with meat. Any dish at all, honestly. And we're not going to season it. We're not having any seasonings at all. And the crazy part is, it's not a matter of cost. You can go get a big container of Morton salt for like $3 at the store. You can get a smaller shaker of black pepper for $1.50. I mean, it's not a matter of cost. You know, he's clearly had to go to the store to buy these ingredients, but somehow, some way, he hasn't thought to buy basic seasonings to make things actually taste, and to make things actually taste good. Because I don't know about you, but I've eaten meat that... I should be more specific. I've eaten ground beef without seasonings before, and it just sort of tastes like weird worms. You know, salt brings out the flavor of things. That's why we use it. But Fatty, he doesn't need it. He's an expert. We're moving past it.
Alright, now for the part that's going to make a lot of vegans happy and a lot of mothers happy. Quarts of broccoli. Let's do this. And now we get a little corny up in this bitch with some sweet corn. Gotta make like a dad joke. Let's see, what's a vegetarian's favorite website? Cornhub. Alright, this one goes to all the daddies out there. Covering the mommies, now we got the daddies. And now we're just gonna stir this up until our vegetables reach a tenderness we want.
I mean, what do you even say here? What am I supposed to say? This man just poured broccoli and corn into ground beef and is trying to portray this as a sloppy Joe. I feel like my eyes are being victimized. I'm being stabbed in the eyes by the pain I'm witnessing. He kept the beef grease in there, man. He left the beef grease in there. Why did he keep it in there? I don't know about you. I eat a plenty of frozen vegetables. You can steam it. You can throw it in the microwave. Hell, you can throw it in its own saucepan. Why are you combining it in a pot with ground beef and beef grease, dude? This like hurts my soul. looking at this. What makes this a sloppy Joe? I demand reparations. This is a crime.
And we are at a point now where we're ready to drop our ketchup in. You don't need to put too much in, but you want to put enough in to where it kind of mimics how I like my ramen, which is just enough to coat everything. So.
No, man. Oh, you can't be doing this out here, man. This isn't something that people in the Great Depression would be eating. They'd rather eat dirt than eat what the hell you're putting in a pot right here. Oh my god, his combiner, his sauce for this meal is ketchup. It's ketchup, everybody. No, he's not gonna try and mix it up with something. You know, I would have a little bit more respect if he's like, hey, he doesn't use fresh ingredients, man. I was gonna say he could have used an onion. He doesn't use fresh ingredients. It's all frozen stuff or meat. That's it. If he just diced an onion and mixed it with some ketchup, he wouldn't buy Worcestershire sauce, but he could have done that. It'd be a little bit weird. It'd be closer to Sloppy Joe's. This isn't close at all, man. I don't even know how to describe this. This is like if you were trying to explain how to make a burger from scratch and you were explaining it to somebody that couldn't understand English and was blind and had never cooked a meal before and didn't have any arms and didn't have any understanding of what meals and vegetables and meats were. If that was the case, then you'd end up with something like this. You got green, you got yellow, you got red, you got meat. You know, that's a burger almost. It's definitely not a Sloppy Joe.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The taste test. I'm going to give you guys a little bit better look here. You want just enough in there of that ketchup to kind of look like a thing of soup, almost. It almost looks like tomato water because the grease from the hamburger meat has mixed in with the ketchup.
It's no wonder that he has health problems. It is surprising that he hasn't keeled over and died from some of these things that he's eaten. He's about to eat an entire pot of beef grease, dude. Of beef fat melted off. Come on. Come on. Then he's saying it's like a soup. It's like a broth. I thought we were making Sloppy Joes, man. Why are you eating out of a pot? Where is your burger bun? You could at least try and fabricate the idea that you're making a Sloppy Joe. But no, we aren't even gratified with that instance. Instead, like all of his other Cooking with Fatty meals, he's just gonna eat straight from the pot and pretend like it's something it's not. And I mean, what the hell is this, man? What is this?
Some corn, we got some meat, we got some broccoli. When made like this, it really does taste like a beef stew.
Yeah, maybe it tastes like a beef stew. Not a beef stew I've ever had, because instead of broccoli, you probably would use peas. And I don't know if you'd be using corn up in there. It doesn't really matter. You said it was a Sloppy Joe, and it's not. And I don't show the score he's going to give it, but this man, his taste buds are absolutely rotten. It's a disgrace. And the fact that he can sit there with a straight face and say, this is like a beef stew. You know, maybe it's a beef stew, but it's closer to being a beef stew that you left inside the outhouse outside than it is something that you made on the actual stove.
So what would I rate this? That's a good question. It's a fun one. Now this isn't just the badass in me talking here. This is the foodie in me saying this. But it's really good.
First off, you're not a foodie. You don't understand. I saw a comment on the pizza video with him that said that the place that he went to at a 3-star restaurant, I ain't showing up to. I need a 4-star or higher to be able to go to a restaurant. Yeah, that's a little bit pretentious, but I don't think he understands what makes something a good meal, alright? That's just me being honest. He proceeds to give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. You know, maybe my grading scale's off. You know, Fatty, I assume, has probably never had, like, an exquisite meal. And not to flex here, right? But, you know, probably once a year I go to a nice restaurant, you know, treat myself, treat others I care about. And I've gotten nice steaks before, nice pastas before, and, like, those would be in the 8, 9, 10 range for me. And somehow, beef stew from his ass is an 8 out of 10 for him. What the hell is a 10 out of 10 for him? Is that McDonald's? Does McDonald's reach 10 out of 10? This is a crisis.
What's mosquito? Fuck you.
Just revolting. He can't let any scrap of food go to waste. Hey, I got a piece of beef stuck to my fucking underwear. I'm gonna pick that piece right up and I'm gonna slime it down my gullet right after I picked off a mosquito from my stomach. Just gross, Fatty. Get it together.
Links to videos. Anytime we collab with people, we put their links in. Just make sure to check the links in the description. It's pretty important. If you guys want to help support the house, check out the GoFundMe. I'll keep it running for a little bit longer because there's still some small things we got to do. But things that can be done nevertheless.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm just gonna keep the GoFundMe where I keep scamming my fans and taking money from them and not actually trying to work. I'm gonna keep that up for a little bit longer. I'm gonna let you guys keep sending me money. That's all good. That's all cool. You know, help me out, get some more things, you know? Watch me eat fucking garbage out of the pot. Watch me build an outhouse 2 feet away from my house that's probably gonna slide into it and collapse. You know, help me out with that. You know, Fatty, figure out a way to make money, dude. Stop relying on the backs of your fans to support everything that you need. Oh, those links are important down below. You know, you don't want to miss those links. It's like, have some humility. You know, have some pride in what you do where you don't have to rely on the generosity of strangers, dude. Either way, I'm gonna send you out with that TikTok of Fatty. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Somebody once told me you need a throne, homie, a place to shit while you live in the shed. I said, look, my man, bro, I am looking for a throne, and now my shitter's here at the shed. Well, it's nothing quite crazy, it's just a porta potty, a little outhouse, but hey, it's what I got here. It was super cheap and great, and episode's 8 and really damn great. So much to poo, so much to pee. That's how you shit in style.